Rain Doesn't Ruin Everything by Nick. Once there was a little squirrel who woke up one day and got out of bed and went to look outside. He saw that it was raining. "Mama, it's raining. Now what can I do?" said little squirrel. Well, the squirrel got mad and started messing up everything in the treehouse. "Honey, playing outside is not the only thing you can do in a day," said Mama Squirrel. "It's not?" said Little Squirrel. "No, you can play in your room with your toy cars," said Mama Squirrel to Little Squirrel. So Little Squirrel went into his room and started playing with his cars. "Vroom, vroom," said Little Squirrel. "Wah, wah," cried Little Squirrel's baby sister, who was in the same room. "Honey, could you please be quiet? Your baby sister is trying to sleep," said Mama Squirrel. "I can't play and be quiet at the same time," said Little Squirrel. So he went to his mama and asked her what else he could play. "Wham, wham," cried Baby Squirrel. "Well, I better get her. She looks wide awake," said Mama Squirrel. "Hey, Mama, could I play with her?" asked Little Squirrel. "Well, sure you can," said Mama. So Little Squirrel started playing with his baby sister. The end. Thank you.
My name is Derek, and my story is Indiana Squirrel. Once there was a squirrel named Henry. He was a history teacher. One day, Henry thought teaching wasn't enough. Henry wanted adventure. Henry thought about what he told his class this week. He decided to search for the golden acorn. The next day, Henry decided to start his search in Egypt. He flew there in his plane. When Henry got there, the local squirrels told him that the golden squirrel was underground. Finally, Henry found the secret entrance into the pyramids. Once inside, Henry grabbed the golden acorn, but it was a trap. A giant rock rolled after Henry. He ran to the exit and barely escaped. Henry had finally found the golden squirrel. Thank you.
Once there was a boy. This boy got everything he wanted, but he was still not happy. So one day he went into his mom's room and took her lamp. Once he had set up the lamp, he patted it 3 times. And then all of a sudden there was a bunch of smoke and a genie was there. The boy screamed and ran into his closet. The mom came running in. She saw her lamp and she got mad. So the boy sent her to a faraway island. That night his father realized she was gone. He got mad, so the boy sent him to a faraway island. The boy thought he would finally be happy, but he wasn't. So he asked the genie to make him smart enough to find his parents. The genie said yes, but the genie said yes. So he went to the dock and got a ship. And once he found his parents, they forgave him. Thank you.
My name is Garrison, and my story is hats. Once there was a boy named Loco. He always wore crazy hats. He never cared what anyone thought of him. But one day he went to school. He was riding the school bus wearing his favorite hat. A girl on the bus named Leslie was not a nice girl. And Loco did something very bad. He sat behind her. "Hi," Loco said. "What?" I said hi. "No one talks to me." Loco moved and got out of the bus. He saw this boy named George. He was sitting by himself. Loco noticed he wore crazy socks. Loco talked to him. Leslie needs to work on her attitude. Let's go over there and tell her to stop being mean. The end. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nick, and the name of my book is The Lost Dog. Once there was a little dog who wanted a dog. A little boy who wanted a dog, but his parents wouldn't get him. But then one day he got a dog. He played with his dog every day. But one day he went out to play with his dog, and he saw that the gate was open. He said to himself, "This is all my fault." He told his mom, and they went looking for his dog. They went down street after street and never found his dog. The boy told his mom he gave up. His mom said, "Never give up and keep trying." He did, and guess what? He found his dog. Thank you.
My name is John Thomas, and my book is called A Kid's Wish. Once there was a boy. The boy's name was Jimmy. He was 6 years old. He had always had one wish. It was to get a puppy, and if he got one, he would name it Scratch. So Jimmy had an ideal. He thought if he asked his mom and dad over and over again, they would take him to get a puppy. So he tried it. He asked his mom and dad 4 times a day for 3 days. And can you guess what happened? Of course, they finally let him get one. The day they took him to get a puppy, it took him 2 hours to get one out. Finally, he found the perfect one. It was a black and white puppy. The puppy loved Jimmy, and Jimmy loved the puppy too. But when his mom and dad saw the price, they said they couldn't afford the puppy. Jimmy went home and cried for days. The puppy was so sad too. But then on the day when the owner of the pet shop was cleaning his cage, the puppy ran away. 3 days later, Jimmy heard scratching on the door. It was the puppy. Jimmy was so happy. Jimmy and Scratch became the best of friends. Thank you.
My name is John Henry, and the name of my book is A Mole's Home. Once there was a man who just wanted peace and quiet, so he bought a house in Maryland. He had moved in and had awards for the best lawn in town, until one day there were some lines of torn up yard everywhere. The man went frantic. The man had been there for more than 4 years, and he had the best lawn for 3.5 years. Now he has got some things ruined. The worst part is that it's spreading him fast, too. A very nice award-winning home. So he went to the lawn care store and bought mole removal. Then he came home and put it in his lawn. 3 days later, he checked back and figured that these moles are very smart and not your typical moles. He tried everything to catch them. He even dug 5 holes and put fire extinguishers in 4 of them and blew them out. He laughed as he thought he had won. They just crawled back in by the time he stopped laughing, and then he sighed. They tricked him so much they would play dead outside of their holes. He would get so excited, but then they'd get up and start laughing, then go back inside their holes. He'd sigh and go back into his house, until one day they played dead and set traps down on their holes and caught them. And that's the end.